Hi everyone, welcome back. We want to look at quadratic formula, how to derive quadratic formula. Show that x is equal to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac all over 2a. We have to show that x is equal to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, from the general formula, ax square plus bx plus c equal to what? 0. We are going to use completing the square to prove this formula using completing the square. Using completing the square method. Alright, so ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the first term, the second term, and the constant. Let's take the constant to the other side. Ax square plus bx is equal to, remember when you move plus, it becomes what? Minus. At this point, we are going to divide through by the coefficient of x square, which is a. Divide through by the coefficient of what? Of x. So this is out. We are left with x square plus bx all over a equal to minus c over what? A. So our focus next is on the coefficient of x. What will you do? You are going to take half of b over a. Take half of b over a. So x square plus, if I'm taking half, that becomes bx over a times 1 over 2. That gives us bx times 1, bx all over a times 2, 2a equal to minus c all over a. Our focus is still on this. What will you do at this point? You are going to take the square of the coefficient of x. What's the coefficient of x here? B all over 2a. So this is x squared plus bx all over 2a. Remember, you are taking the square of it, after which you add the square to both sides. So plus b over 2a all squared equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a all squared. Now, you remember the first term. Look at the first term. The first term is x squared. The third term here now is b over 2a squared. Since they are both perfect square, let's bring them out. So we have x squared plus b over 2a squared as well equal to minus c over a plus, this will give us b square all over 2 times 2, 4, a times a squared. Okay, so let's factorize the square. Now have x plus b all over 2a all squared equal to minus c over a plus b square all over 4a square. What do you do from here? Make this one a single fraction, after which we take square root of both sides. X plus b all over 2a all squared equals to, what's the LCM of this? This is 4a squared. A in 4a squared will give us 4a. That is a times a divided by a. This will cancel out. 4 times a, 4a. 4a times minus c gives us minus 4ac plus 4a square in 4a square 1 times this b square. Now let's take square root of both sides so that we can have our x. Remember, what we are looking for is what? Is x. So we are going to take square root of both sides now. X plus b all over 2a is equal to plus or minus root minus 4ac plus b square all over 4a squared. Okay, why did we take square root? Because square root is the only thing that can what? Eliminate square. So let's take this to the other side. X is equals to plus, when you take it to the other side, it becomes minus. Minus b all over 2a plus or minus roots minus 4ac plus b square all over, the square root of 4 is 2 and a square is a perfect square root number. The square root of a square is also what? Is a. Make this fraction a single fraction. So x is equals to, what's the square LCM of 2a and 2a? That's 2a. Okay, 2a into a 1 times it gives us minus b plus or minus 1 root minus 4ac plus b square. Now we've been able to what? To prove. Remember, the question is prove that x is equal to this. So from the general formula, through the completing the square, we are able to prove that x is equal to minus b plus or minus root. Let's rewrite this. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus, we want to rewrite b square minus 4ac all over 2a. This is how the quadratic formula